All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. This is our third check-in call with the Mandel Upgrade Working Group. Maybe we'll start with Eve, if you have anything to share on progress towards determining our path forward between either 3.1 for everyone or 2.3 and 3.0.
It seems Dan has maybe already skipped 2.3 and is already working towards 3.1. I haven't gotten confirmation of that, but that seems to be the case right now. And there's nothing else that I can share at this time. Other than that, we are in the process, on the other side of things, though, we are in the process of signing, we should be signing an agreement with OCI. Today, we've kind of pinned down the scope of work for the API transaction life cycles. That should align roughly with the timing. So they need roughly 15 to 16 weeks from start, and start would be next week or early March. Yeah. So that would bring us till beginning of June to start getting releases, and end of June to have kind of the end of the releases. We will be sharing through a blog post and through other information, we'll be sharing kind of what that entails, especially for developers, what that means. So Matthew Darwin and Aaron Cox have been helping me out leading that file. It's part of the API Plus Blue Paper, which isn't out yet, but it will be out by the end of the week. So essentially, it's an item that we saw that was kind of a quick win, fast trackable item that we could add on to this that would give value to developers in this particular release.
Great. You said, what was the date you said there that we're tracking towards? Was there
which for the API transaction lifecycle?
Yeah,
they're saying roughly, let's say 15 to 16 weeks from beginning of March, which would put us at the end of June. But end of June would be where we have kind of a final release. So we would be getting released prior to that. Let's say end of May, beginning of June, we'd start getting the first releases, do some back and forth, some bug fixing.
Okay, so this is still accurate. Ready to start testing in late May. It hasn't changed.
It might even be a little bit sooner than that for the release candidate one. But yeah, you can input that. Seems fine. And like I said, in terms of actual details, which we will be able to include in this at some point, or we'll put through a blog post or something more formal, kind of the breakdown of what that entails. And if you want to put those notes, it's the acceptance criteria. So we'll be sharing the acceptance criteria widely so that basically developers can understand the technical details of what's being implemented. We should be signing the agreement today. So we've been doing the back and forth for about 2 weeks now, and I think we're done and we're good with the scope of work that's being presented. So once that's signed, then we'll transform that section, which is already essentially written. So it's just a question of copy pasting in a format that'll be suitable to share. So maybe a week or so, way before it's needed, essentially.
Bohdan, I see you have some updates to share.
Yesterday evening, we started Jungle 4. As you mentioned before, it's on the 2.0 version, and smart contracts are 192. The last one was the configured power-up system, and it should be similar like on EOS. Here in the chat, in the Zoom chat, I shared information about access to the Jungle 4, the monitor new, get information with the Genesis file, and please feel free to use that. If you will have any question, we'll be happy to answer.
Great. So everything we need to know to connect to Jungle and use it is in here. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So what are next steps for Jungle?
Probably we need more block producer to be registered, and then we will do upgrade when we will have already the centralized chain. Right now, the old producer on our side.
Yeah, we need to get more BPs to register.
Yeah.
Do we have a threshold in particular we want to shoot for? And what are right now? Is it just you guys?
We started on our block producers, but when the new block producer will register, we'll just vote and bring them in the top 21.
And I guess we need a minimum of 21 that we'd want to participate in this.
Yeah, it's the best one. We can cover the difference if we will have less, but if more decentralized chain will be, then better test result we will have.
It looks like it's 2013, so just spin it up like a normal node, and then we'll upgrade it from there.
And Node 1, we are joined that.
Yeah, only Node should be on the 2.0.13 version, the last one from the 2.0. We will also announce in the Jungle testnet group. There will also probably some BPs might join.
Okay,
and
great
Jungle
update.
3, we're just letting kind of dwindle off into La La Land as we relaunch Jungle 4, right? No need to put any effort into 3.
I think the idea is we want to keep both for the time being. Is that right?
Yeah, I recommend to keep during 6 months the Jungle 3, so everyone is able to migrate to the new chain. And as I know, we will probably reset this Jungle 4 during some period, so maybe better to keep still Jungle 3 to allow other development testing.
Yeah, if you're able to continue running both, that's ideal. Dan, you mentioned you're dialing in from the car. It sounds like. I'm not sure if you're able to speak. I saw that you gave gave an update in the chat about reviewing the changes in 3.0 RC, and you've gone through some of those PRs that Kevin mentioned. I've added that in the comment here. Anything to add?
That's right. I'm driving right now. I can't really add much more, but
okay.
It's work in progress. There's
Great.
a bunch of stuff that is useful, and I think we need to move it into Mandel. There are some improvements and bug fixes. Also for EOSIO commas, there's some network conditions that Michael is experiencing, and there are some bug fixes to it.
Yeah, please get the EOS USA comma bug fix into the code. They fixed it and it's going to get dropped out.
Okay, so if I understand correct, these are different changes in this release that are being considered to be added into 3.1. Is that correct?
That's right. Yes, there's a list of fixes that Block One is doing, Bullish is doing, have done right now. In public repository, we don't have them yet in Mandel.
Okay.
So we need to have a plan for them to merge.
And I see Kevin is on the line. Is there anything that you can add on this topic?
Sure. So Mandel was cut from tag version 2013, I believe. Since then, there's been a number of fixes that are in the release 2.0.x branch. They didn't pick up because, they cut it before then. Those are valid, and they would be in a 2.0.14 if a thing like that would happen to ever exist. However, they're not right now. And so, yeah, I think those should be brought in, including one that's actually not even merged yet. I realized that there was one fix that's in 2.1 and 2.2 and develop box that hadn't made it into 2.0, so I pushed up a PR for that. That has not been merged. It'll probably be merged relatively soon. I'm waiting for one of our guys who's on vacation to review it. So yeah, and then I was planning on, and I hadn't got around to it, going through all the changes in Develop Box and Develop in 2.3 and 2.2 and 2.1, which is a lot, to try to indicate what I think of those ought to be in Mandel. And I just haven't had the chance to do all that. That's quite a bit of work.
So it sounds like between you and Stan, we're documenting the additional updates that are available, and we'll have to decide if we're able or willing to merge them into what I guess we're working on for Mandel. Is that right?
Yeah, that would be my understanding.
Some bug fixes are quite easy. I mean, this bug fixes in network protocol, peer-to-peer protocol, they're relatively easy and straightforward to merge. It's not a lot of work. It just needs to be done, reviewed and done in a proper process.
And that would be work for the Fractally team, I'm guessing?
Yes, I think it should go to 3.0 release.
Okay.
Because right now we have a release candidate, so this bug fix would be perfect for the release.
Is anyone from the Fractally team able to speak to that, whether that's feasible or what you would need to have in order to make a decision there?
And just to confirm, Stan and or Kevin, you guys are putting that as you've put in the issues, right? Under the current repo, so that the Fractally team is actually aware and can see?
I will. I just went through the list today, a few hours ago.
Stephen Watanabe is here from Fractally, if he can address. I'm not sure if he can.
At the moment, I don't have plans to integrate those into the 3.0 RC1. I'm currently working on porting features into 3.1.
I guess once we have this, Stan is in the process of documenting all this stuff. Is there an opportunity to revisit that once we have that documented?
Possibly. I'd prefer not to port things more than once, though.
We haven't agreed to purchase 3.1 yet, so we do have the 3.0 release candidate there. And it would make sense that we're asking to have these fixes put into the 3.0 release candidate. That's why it's a release candidate and not the 3.0 final. It sounds like we need to have some clarity on this.
All right. Agreed. I am not competent to negotiate that.
Can I ask Kevin Hefner a question, please? Kevin, who is making these changes in the 2.0 release that you feel that should be included? I mean, we trust you're right about they should be included. Are these OCI people making these, or are these some remnant Block One developers still making some fixes, bug fixes? Who are the people that are making these?
Yeah, they were all done under Block One's dime, if that's what you're asking.
Are they months old or are they semi-recent?
Well, some of them are months old. One of them hasn't even been merged yet. That one I pushed up yesterday or the day before. They're all stuff that's since the 2.013 release, which I'd have to go look when that was. They're all in what would have been in 2.014 if such a thing would ever happen.
I see. Thank you.
I had a call with Randall this weekend. We discussed, we've got a pretty large database of dApp developers and exchanges, and making good progress on getting contact information for each of them. So yeah, Randall, myself, and a couple members of my team are working on populating all of the contact information, so that way when we're ready with all of our materials, we can email basically all of them individually. We're trying to get the official support email, to open a ticket with as many of the exchanges as we can, and then we can track the progress of those tickets and make sure that they've actually been acknowledged by the exchanges and they're ready to go. I saw that we've got Hyperion now up. Thank you, Michael. I see that you've got it up now. I see we've got another update here from Nat. Some info from the chat from Syed. And we were also, I think Igor was working on something for Hyperion on Pylon as well. How are we doing there?
Yeah, I think that's just like general Hyperion updates. I don't know if he's here or not, but I don't think it was anything immediately deliverable.
No. Okay. Yeah. I saw that we had you signed up for the short-term fix and Igor for the long-term fix. But it sounds like what you've provided now is sufficient for our testing needs in the short term.
Hopefully so.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm still working. I'm coordinating with the folks on Kylan to get power updated. We'll have to do some work on basically what's the list of tasks that need to be done in order to, I think there's like a number of contracts and things that are behind on Kylan. Not much progress to share there at this time, unfortunately, but still we're coordinating in the background to get that done.
And for the record, Kylan infrastructure, block producer wise, it's a test net, so not everybody pays attention, but there's missed blocks, there's forks all the time. It may be a great test for examples of what EOS could be like, I guess, but I don't know if we want to focus on trying to, at least at some point in time, kind of getting that back in Barry.
Yeah, that's going to be part of that coordination effort, getting everyone on there who's on there engaged and not missing blocks, and getting, signing the MSIGs to deploy the contracts and activate, power up, all that sort of thing.